Well, hey, Gundam Maniacs, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. In this episode, we're taking a look at the next episode in this series of looking at the Gundam Evolve episodes. And it's going to be episode 13. I've said episode a lot, but this is the RMS 108 Marasai. So it's interesting how these episodes are just names of mobile suits typically, but the episodes don't necessarily have to do with the mobile suit, and that's what's interesting about this one. This one has a pretty strong story. Okay, so this takes place almost kind of early on in the Zeta timeline. This is when a bunch of mobile suits from opposing forces are going through Earth's atmosphere trying to land on Jaburo. All right. And I guess little do some of them know, if you remember from Zeta, there was kind of a plot behind that where they were going to have nuclear bombs go off at Jaburo, killing anyone. And this is what the Titans had in mind, and it would even kill their own forces. And so this episode of Evolve is kind of over that. So we're seeing this, the Marasai, which is a mainline Titans mobile suit. So the Marasai is a second generation mobile suit introduced in the anime mobile suit Zeta Gundam. It was first seen in 86, last seen in 96. So it's based on and developed as an all-around improvement of the RMS 106 Hyzak, which was, after the 1 Year War and Zeon was sort of dissolved, there's remnants out there, all that. The Hyzak was one of kind of the first sort of co-developed mobile suits, with the Federation taking a lot of Zeon designs, which is very interesting. And then it moved forward from that, I guess, with the Marasai, which still retains a lot of the Zeon look to it. Designed around principles utilized by the Principality of Zeon, the Marasai featured several characteristics of the Zaku series. Factors of its development led to the Marasai's performance being equal to that of the MSA 003 Nemo, or Nemo? I always think of Finding Nemo. And rivaling the RMS 099 Rick Diaz. So those three mobile suits are pivotal in these battles that are occurring in early Zeta, because we're seeing them a whole lot. And even that last episode I did was on the Rick Diaz. Really cool shot there. Again, this is 2005, and as I've brought up in previous episodes, it seems the CGI gets better and better. I'd even say by this episode, there's even less of that cel-shaded look and just really good CGI overall. Interesting that even though this is about the Marasai, it does the same opening for the RX-78, RX-178 Mark II, a favorite of mine. And there it is. There's some badass action in this, okay? It's even using that head-mounted kind of Vulcans going on. But yeah, this is that pivotal scene out of Zeta. So they're in the atmosphere. The Baloots are deploying. This is what's supposed to help, I guess, offset the immense heat that happens from the friction of entering and propelling through Earth's atmosphere. Again, I'll sometimes stop to kind of show you some shots that look excellent, because that was a really cool scene in Zeta, and to see it with kind of this upgraded CGI is fantastic. Unfortunately, this is a rip from the DVD I have, and the DVD quality in the first place was poor, so we're only getting this at 480. I would love if they can somehow release a remaster. Oh man, that is a cool shot. I guess those are GM2s if I'm not mistaken. I think the 3 would have the green, but I just love how they're equipped with all this equipment for that atmospheric reentry. We could see what looks like, gunfire in the background too. And then look at that. Okay, so this is when we're meeting our pilot. This is where the story is picking up and what this is really all about. And this is this dude named Jonathan. This is filthy rebels who would even attack your own headquarters. So Jonathan is a Titans pilot. He is entering the atmosphere. He's mad about the AUG, the rebels, fighting against Earth. So he feels like he's in the right here, and he's just shooting who he can. And even we see the Mark II coming down on its little flight system. I forget what those are called. Isn't it subflight system, SFS maybe. And he's trying to shoot at it and destroy it. And so as he's doing so, and you can kind of see over by that lower cheek there, is we see this little SD card or something kind of float around. And this is another cool little world building element here, because I guess that card is supposed to be some sort of video that his dad gave him. Now, I was kind of confused at first, because the way the dialogue works in this, it sounds like he just got this in, but it must be that, I guess maybe among some things he packed was this little video card from his dad. And just to reiterate how awesome the battles are here, the framing of the shots, the slight shakiness of the feeling of that, that feeling of the friction as you're going through the atmosphere, all the gunfire everywhere. This is really top-notch Gundam stuff. Okay, so this is where he's trying to catch up with the Mark II, but the Baloots, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, are deploying on the mobile suits. Now this is, again, you can see where it's used to kind of help offset that heat that comes from the re-entry, because the pilots will burn up inside. We've seen this happen in Gundam before. It's kind of a neat thing, scary thing. Okay, so Jonathan gets hit on his way down, and he's supposed to be opening his balut, but he does not want to because he wants to get that shot at the Mark II. And he actually almost gets the shot off until the balut actually auto-inflates, auto-deploys on its own, saving him, but also stopping him from getting the shot he wanted. Okay, so this is where it starts getting a little more interesting. So he's just sitting there with the balut deployed, like, this is gonna take some time. I guess I can watch this little, video, which again, the world building here is neat because what is that, some sort of like SD card? Why is it in a card format, not something that's just downloaded from the cloud? Probably Minovsky particles. So it makes sense to have kind of this physical media lying around. But he says, I cut all ties with my dad and his company. So I guess there was something going on in his, before joining the Titans, to where maybe he wanted to and his dad didn't want him to. And I guess maybe his dad had this company that he was supposed to run or something. I don't know if there's more details on that or not, but they're setting up the characterization here. And so we see his dad. He says, hey, it's been a long time. And he's like, I know we haven't talked in a while, but I thought I should let you know, run away. You're being tricked. As soon as you land at Jaburo, the Titans are going to deploy a nuclear bomb. It's going to kill everyone, including you. You might as well just run away. But there's nothing Jonathan can do at this point because he's in his balut, deploying down to Jaburo. So it's kind of like scary. It's almost like that revelation that we get in War in the Pocket. Yeah, he says specifically, you and your forces are bait meant to attract the Ayug. And they even show where all the nuclear bombs are being stored. And then a little flashback sequence of him talking with his dad, talking about how, I guess, his brother, another son they had, has been away, and his mother's been crying about it. And, who knows what's really going on here, where the families, have differences of what they think their kids could be doing. So that's why he gets a little rebellious, decides to join the Titans to fight rebels. All right, yeah, and he starts getting pretty angry here. You and the company can both go to hell. Well, it's nice. Although one thing I get from this is the one main problem. Everything in Evolve, especially this episode, looks great, except this face looks like a seed face. I'm not a fan. So then it becomes one of those like meme dance songs where you clip just a word or a sentence someone says and then repeat it over and over with some dance music. And that's like literally what the next minute or so is. And he's doing some cool stuff in the meantime while he's hearing on repeat. And is it on repeat because with the heat and what's going on with the atmosphere entry that it's messing up the electronics and it's causing the speech to repeat. So he's like, you'll die, run, you'll die. And he's like still battling, jumping to balutes, fighting other mobile suits. It's pretty crazy. Now, during all that battling and his balut getting destroyed, it kind of throws him off course. And I guess it's enough to sort of stop him from dying from the heat of entering the atmosphere, but it's enough destruction to the mobile suit itself where it ejects his little pilot seat capsule. And then it's over. That short, really. Director Yoshitomo Yonetani. Jonathan, you ejected. You were knocked way off course. So then that tells us, so he's not going to be involved with this blast. And he's actually sitting in the water somewhere. It could be Amazonian River or something, because we know Jaburo is in South America in the Amazon. He's sitting on that capsule, looking out at the mushroom cloud that could have got him. And then he just starts saying the anti-Earth Union all weird and looking like a seed character. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Okay, so from the wiki, we get Universal Century as the Ayug attempt to enter the atmosphere for the drop operation on Jaburo. They come under attack by the Titans RMS 108 Marasai mobile suits. An orbital battle ensues. The storyline of this clip centers around a young Titans pilot named Jonathan as he deals with the battle and his difficult personal affairs at the same time. And yeah, that's literally what it is. It's a short little clip during a pivotal moment of Zeta, but we're seeing through a pilot what personal affairs they have going on and how it's affecting them in their battle. And it seems like in this case, it allowed this person to live, survive, maybe be changed by his dad trying to reach out to him to save him, and that he happened to know this information. You know, who does his dad know to know that a nuclear bomb's going to go off and kill a bunch of people? You know, this is almost one of those rare occasions where this ends like something that's devastating, like a battle and people dying, but ends on a good note where the main character is saved, essentially. And he could probably, from this, go back to his parents. That really makes for a pretty good ending that we normally don't get. So anyway, there we have it. Let me know what you guys think of episode 13 of Gundam Evolve, RMS 108 Marasai. I haven't really even dived much into that mobile suit, and I kind of need to. It's a main player in Zeta Gundam, which is one of my favorites. But it is also cool to see how personal this story was. It really has nothing to do with the Marasai, and that's what we're getting out of this Gundam Evolve. But it's great that through this, we are getting very interesting stories. I feel like it works just like MS Igloo did, where it's like side stories, though that was bigger and had more story to it. Yeah, this has been great. Let me know what you guys think below. Please subscribe if you haven't. And if you think it's a cool video, give it a like. That really helps me out. And share it to other people who like Gundam lore. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll talk later.